Hello ladies and gentlemen of the internet, it's RJ and today I will be reviewing the NECA 12-inch head-to-tail 2014 Godzilla. First off, before getting to the figure, here's the packaging with that just oh so lovely Photoshop of the 2014 Godzilla with that little gimp arm and comedy oversized head. It's just so accurate to the design. Even poster agrees. Moving on to the figure, he doesn't have very much paint, but the paint that he does have is either alright or it's sloppy. On the fingernails they're just painted jet black, same on the toenails. He's got some slight green on the neck and the chest plating. Teeth are painted ivory, kind of sloppily. For some reason there's a really weird paint smudge on the left side of my figure's mouth. Eyes are orange with black slits. And for some reason the spines have really weird texturing that looks nothing like it does in the movie. For some reason they just happen to look really soft on the figure. Detailing, he's bumpy. His arms and legs have plating, so he looks like an interior crocodile alligator. The gills are present, the plating on the neck is present, the plating on the chest is present, and for some reason he has a very defined crotch. I don't know why. Very, very long tail that gets extremely narrow towards the end, and his brontosaurus feet. Articulation. His head is on a ball joint. His jaw opens up, although the tongue has a tendency to get stuck when opening it out of the box, so beware. The neck just kind of pivots around, can't do a whole lot with it due to the design. Shoulders go in and out. Elbows twist and go up and down. Hands rotate, although not very much. There's some very limited movement in the stomach area, and the spine's kind of cut off in a really weird place on the stomach and on the neck. Tail has a few Monster Art styled ball joints until the very tip, in which it just becomes a wire joint, which will be a pain years down the line when the wire starts to protrude out of the tail. Legs do this like the newer Tamashii Godzilla figures. The knee joint does almost nothing aside from straighten the leg out. His brontosaurus feet just sort of rotate, barely go up and down, and there's peg holes for the NECA stands. Scaling, I do not have the Pack of Destruction Muto figures, and only the male even scales slightly correctly with this figure, so... Speaking of Tamashii 95 Godzilla, these are two completely different lines, and the 2014 Godzilla is supposed to be about 6 or 7 meters taller, but again they're completely different lines, so yeah. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. My phone decided to die in the middle of filming, but as I was saying, these two scale very poorly together. He's supposed to be about 50 meters, this Godzilla's 107 meters. They're from two completely different figure lines and era of movies, so yeah, there's that. And I have nothing else to scale the figure with. Overall, for the price point, this is an excellent figure. Very nice detailing. There's a lot of articulation, but because of the design, there's not really a whole lot you can do with it. You can't have him rearing up and roaring like he does several times in the movie. You can kind of get the jaw prying thing, although there aren't any Muto figures that can actually withhold that pose. But I would recommend this figure highly. Beware of quality control issues. There aren't very major ones like the Pacific Rim figures, like Striker Eureka deciding to explode right out of the packaging, but usually just minor paint application problems. Also beware of getting the tail on outside of packaging. I didn't have too many problems with it aside from being stabbed by his scutes. So yes, I would recommend this figure highly to any Godzilla collector or just fan of the movies. They're easy to obtain and they're fairly cheap.